There has been so much in the news in the last 2 weeks, it's hard to know where to start. I'd like to cover a couple issues that the mainstream media has picked up on, though perhaps not done the best job on covering, and one issue that made a huge difference in the lives of the most vulnerable of us, that Donald Trump weighed in not by doing something, but by allowing an administrative rule to die. The first great victory for Donald Trump, which hasn't been reported out there, concerns the effort by the Biden administration, which ran out of time, to get rid of what they call 14C certificates. Everybody may be familiar with light manufacturing or packaging done in their district by people who are handicapped. Maybe they have spina bifida, maybe they have Down syndrome, but in any event, for this reason, they are not able to be profitably employed for above minimum wage or minimum wage dollars. And each state does it a little bit differently, but the states make an estimate of what that employee is worth, and maybe they're paid $5 an hour for, like I said, light manufacturing or packaging. If you tour these facilities, and I think every congressman ought to tour them at least once, it is one of the most enjoyable things you can do, because you will find the people who have been dealt a difficult lot on life so happy to see you, so happy to see what they're doing with you, so happy to make friends with the other employees there, both other employees who have different abilities and other employees who are usually in a supervisory capacity. These are also a godsend to the parents or guardians of these folks, and that under normal circumstances they have to worry when the guardians or parents die off what type of friends, what type of social life they will have. But because they frequently stay in these facilities or work in these facilities for 20 or 30 or 40 years, they develop lifelong friendships, which are so important for these folks to have. Now, had Donald Trump not won the election, they would have continued to work through the administrative rule process, and it's entirely possible that these sort of facilities would have been shut down by a Biden or a Harris administration. They were working towards that. You might say, why would anybody take away the right for these jobs for these people? The reason is they'll say, well, if we're paying somebody $5 an hour, we're taking advantage of them. We can't take advantage of them, so we'd rather have them shut down. How horrible. To the most vulnerable members of our society, Joe Biden was prepared to say, if you want to work here for $5 an hour, tough, we're going to close that facility, or we'll leave the facility open, but you'll no longer be able to work. You'll no longer have the pride of being able to get a paycheck and spending it on clothes for yourself or gifts for your parents, what have you. I would like to thank President Trump for not continuing with that administrative rule. And at least we know, probably for the next 4 years, the jobs of these folks, which means so much to them, more to them than I would say the average citizen in our society. I'd like to say thank you, President Trump, for allowing the most vulnerable members of our society to have the choice to continue to work for, in some cases, sub-minimum wage, but have the enjoyment of that independence. And I should point out that almost all of the people I'm talking about have some SSI payment in addition to that, so it's not like they're expected to pay a mortgage with their $5 an hour job. They get other governmental assistance as well. So I know there are a lot of other things we've been grateful for President Trump for the last couple of weeks for, but for keeping the 14C certificates, That is a tremendous victory for the most vulnerable of us, and I don't think it would have happened if President Trump didn't get elected.